Hey, Damon Tay here, founder of PT Biz, and I got a story for you about a foundation repair sales rep that helped me reframe how important health actually is. So I had to get somebody to look at foundation in a property, and this was somebody that was a sales rep that walked around and told me what crawl space issues we're having and why we're seeing settling and lots of stuff, right? And I did not tell this guy that I'm a physical therapist, by the way. So what I'm going to tell you, completely unsolicited as far as him talking to me about this. But he was 67, and he was a retired realtor and home builder and realtor. I guess he did them both. But he said, you know what? I'm 67. I need something to do, man. I got to learn things and I got to use my body. Then he proceeded to drop down into a ass to grass squat immediately on the ground. Like he dropped down and he popped back up. And he was like, I can't do stuff like that if I just sit around all day. And I started laughing. I was like, you are a fantastic example of what it takes to stay healthy long term, right? And I asked him, I said, are you an outlier, or are all your friends just as healthy as you? Do they have the same mentality? And he goes, oh, no. He said, about 20% of my friends are like me. They're active. They keep learning stuff. They're reading. They're challenging themselves. They're physically, active every single day. And he says about 80% of my friends are unhealthy. And it's hard to watch, man. That's what he said. He goes, it's hard to watch. I talk to them about it. They don't listen. They don't care. They just sit around. He's like, they're all drinking and eating bad food. They're getting, overweight. Their mind isn't as sharp as it used to be, and they're all about the same age. And, he said, you just got to make a choice. The thing is, you got to make a choice to be healthy. You got to make a choice to learn things and to use your mind, because it's such a slippery slope once you go down that path of inactivity and complacency. To dig yourself back out of it is so hard. And, I thought to myself, cool conversation. I love talking about stuff like this. Great reminder for myself to stay on the path of constantly trying to not die or not get so old that life sucks. Let's put it that way. Everyone's obviously going to die, but I just look at it like, I don't want to just be reserved to not being able to do the shit that I want to do with the people I want to do it with. And this is exactly what he said. He's like, I like to hike, I like to go out west, and I like to go skiing. And he's like, I got to be physically able to do those things. And that doesn't come without a lot of work, especially as you get older. And for the businesses that we run, and this is why I bring this up. This isn't necessarily just for me to tell you a story about the guy that I met that told me I had to spend a bunch of money to fix the foundation. This is to remind you that 20% of the people out there, this is probably legitimate. And maybe it's a little bit higher of a percentage when people are younger, because I think health trends are, more commonplace in a younger population. But 20% of the people out there, maybe 30%, are pretty squared away from as far as health is concerned. And this is just generally speaking. But that means that 70% of people out there, they have no idea what to do potentially. They have no accountability. They say no to things that they want to say yes to, but they physically can't do it. It's probably quite frustrating for them. They probably feel like they are, just this is the way life is now, and they just have to live with it. And that's just not the reality. We all know that. We all know that it's never too late to try to make a positive improvement in your health, in your mobility, in your mental health, in your ability to do the things in the world that you want to do with the people you want to do those activities with. It's there, and you maybe have a harder time improving at 67 than you do at 37, but you still can do it. And to me, what this says is there are a massive number of people out there that don't even know that you exist and that you can help them. Everybody wants to fight over this little percent of people that know what you do and that you can help them, and they're looking for it, right? They're searching for it. That is a sliver of the people out there that actually could benefit from you and the services that you provide and the education that you give people and the accountability that you give people. These are valuable things. You might undervalue them because you don't see value in it until you're stuck in a recliner and you have to say, no, I don't want to go on that vacation with our family because I can't walk around. Like, these are things that people do all the time. And it's sad because we know that with the right inputs, people can feel a lot better. Lots of things can be much healthier. And our job in a lot of ways is to get people moving better. Step one, get them out of pain, get them back to being able to like actually be physically active again. And step two is to help educate them on how to change their life for the better so they can be like this guy and they can drop down into a squat, which was very strange, by the way, for me to like unsolicited ass to grass squat, but quite impressive. He was in zero drop shoes, by the way, which made it even more impressive. And just like, be that person. Don't be a outlier to your friends, make more people be like that. Instead of it being 20% are like that around him, what if it's 40%? That's twice as many people. And that's a huge group of people that you can market to, that it may not come your way from Google ads. It comes your way from having conversations with people that you work with. And that's the other thing this guy said. He said, hey man, I've never gotten a client from an ad. It's all a referral, right? In which I didn't want to have to talk to him necessarily about his business, but either way, he's talking about reputation and how important that is. And if you have a really good reputation, don't forget to ask people if there's friends or family members that they have that are limited from activities that they want to do that could benefit from your help as well. I used to get this all the time when I started saying this stuff to people, and they'd be like, well, my brother, he's not like an athlete though. And they're like, if you have a body, you're an athlete. That's the way we look at it. Like, what is he struggling with? What can we help with? Let's have a conversation. Let me talk to him, see if it's something that he's even interested in. And next thing you know, you have somebody who's apprehensive to do anything. It's avoiding things because they have a knee surgery that never got fully rehabbed. All of a sudden, that starts to resolve. Next thing you know, we're having a conversation about something that he's always wanted to do, which maybe is running a 10K. We start building a program for that. Now he's in a running group. He's traveling to do half marathons with friends. We've changed this guy's fucking life. That's what's happened. Like, that's the truth. We get a chance to do that stuff, but you got to put yourself out there. You got to tell people what it is that you do and who you help, and you got to get involved locally in your community because people are not searching on the internet for your business that don't even know you exist. These kinds of people are going to come your way because you're establishing local relationships. You're establishing a reputation that's pristine, and someone is going to go out on a limb to recommend you to somebody that maybe they don't even think is a great fit for it. And if you can do that, not only will you have more business, but you're going to help a heck of a lot more people be like this guy today, who is skiing and hiking and is squatting for random strangers on a job site and able to do so without exploding his knee in front of me the way most people that had to do a drop down ass to grass squat like he was doing a freaking snatch would probably not be able to do or get back up off the ground at his age. So impressive. So excited to have met this person. And there's a lot more people out there that you can help be just like this guy. But you got to put yourself out there. You have to do the right thing for your folks. You have to treat everybody like they're your family. You have to have a reputation that is above everything else, is stellar, where people want to take that chance to refer their friends and family your way. And if you do, your business is going to do great, but man, you're going to change a lot of lives in the process.